Hello, everybody, and welcome to Marcho Madness 2019, the play-in matchups. I'm your host, your play-by-play man, and your color commentator, Chris Mullet, and it is time for the ninth occasion to get kicked off the best computer-simulated video game tournament you will find anywhere, brought to you from the boys at Podswoggle, a wrestling podcast with entertainment. We started this crazy thing in 2011, taking 64 of the best wrestlers in the world and put them in a tournament akin to the NCAA's March Madness tournament. Allowed you, the fans at home, to submit brackets for prizes and bragging rights. And it has grown into now an event that spans the entire day. That day will be March 30th, starting probably between 10 and 12 Eastern. Be on the lookout for the exact start time as it gets closer and closer. But because the world of wrestling has grown, because the tournament has grown so much, we have play-in matchups. We've always had some form of a play-in matchup, but we used to mimic the NCAA and limit the amount of play-ins that they were. We found that 4 was not enough, 6 wasn't enough. We've grown to where now, for the second straight year, we have 16 play-in matchups, meaning we have a total in this tournament of 78 participants, if I'm not mistaken. There'd be 64 spots plus an extra 16. No, I'm sorry, 80 people would be total in this tournament. But we're getting rid of 16 right now in these 16 play-in matchups that will split tag teams up. Will shape the tournament for the rest of its duration, and will be one hell of a day. The play-in matchups last year, we had quite an amazing round of play-in matchups. In fact, we had Cesaro make it to the Elite Eight out of his play-in matchup. We also had, making out other play-in matchups pretty deep in this tournament, if I'm not mistaken, several men. So the same thing is going to happen maybe today. I don't know. Cesaro will be back in another play-in matchup. We have tons of storylines for you in today's play-in matchups. So let's stop talking. Let's get into it and see who will be advancing in March of Madness this year before the actual date. If you're, again, new to this whole endeavor, they are one-on-one normal matches. I do have them set up automatically just so that there's no confusion. And we're going to start with the current Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions will be competing in a play-in matchup. That'll be former March of Madness champion Jay Briscoe taking on his brother Mark Briscoe. Yes. Oh, my wife is also here. She's about to leave because she doesn't want anything to do with this. March of Madness 2019 getting kicked off with a former champion. Now, Jay Briscoe is lifetime 10-4 in this March of Madness live tournament. If you're confused about why I say live, for those of you who've been following the show for quite some time, you know I was crazy and I went back and I simmed every March of Madness when I was unemployed from 1991 on. So sometimes I'll talk about former stats. Hey, what's going on, M. Patrick? It goes it, man. We are starting March of Madness 2019, the play-in matchups with a former champion. Jay Briscoe won the 2015 March of Madness. Mark Briscoe is 0-2 live March of Madness. Is looking to get on his first victory ever in a live tournament, whereas his brother is one of the most legendary performers in this tournament's history. Not a lot of guys can get the 10 wins in March of Madness. We're going to have several of them performing here today. Jay Briscoe, I believe, is the only champion in that field. And he's getting stomped away early by Mark Briscoe. Really getting beaten early. In the corner, Jay Briscoe finally counters out of it. In that 2015 March of Madness, Jay Briscoe went on his... Mark Briscoe's ruthless, choking him out in the corner. Jay Briscoe defeated to win it all. He was the number 1 seed that year because he had an amazing run as ROH champion. He defeated Buddy Murphy, who's back in the tournament this year finally. 1 count on by Mark on Jay. He beat Buddy Murphy, Adam Cole, Luke Harper, Damian Mizdow, Brock Lesnar, and Bray Wyatt to win the whole thing, and then followed it up in 2016 with a trip all the way to the Elite Eight. He defeated in his defense of his Marcho Madness crown King Cuerno, Doc Gallows, Xavier Woods, before ultimately losing to Finn Balor. So Mark Briscoe, it's been a couple years out of the tournament. The Briscoes have had a kind of a weird couple years, but they had a dominant run as ROH Tag Team Champions this past year. But 2 reigns, currently in one. You know, that has to eat Mark up. Even in the point discrepancy, Jay Briscoe still rated an 82. You know, the step down from him being in the 90s, if I'm not mistaken, when he was the number 1 seeded champion. Mark is only rated a 79. You know, Mark's going to look for a burning hammer. Mark's going to look for a froggy bow. Big drop kick in the corner by Mark Briscoe. Former Marcho Madness champion Jay Briscoe does not look good. Gotta love the play-in matchups, because also if the bracket will be live pretty much once this is over. Cedric BDZ, my goodness, it doesn't feel like it's been a year already. It is a year already, Cedric. Let me tell you, man. We got 16 great matchups for you today, and then the whole kit and caboodle will be on March 30th. But this frames and shapes so much of people's picks of these play-in matchups. A guy gets dominant, like Cesaro. Last year, a lot of people jumped on the Cesaro bandwagon and were correct, running him all the way to the Elite Eight because of how good he looked against Sheamus. Man tapped out John Cena last year, and John Cena's potentially last Marcho Madness. Mark Briscoe, top rope, shooting star press. Jay Briscoe looked like he was trying to roll away from it, and instead, Mark just had to expand the scope of his shooting star and nailed him with it. The winner of this match is Mark Briscoe from center of the ring, looks to beat Jay Briscoe 2 only. The winner of this match, I didn't have the matchups. I'm trying to figure out. I'm going to go with my heart this year, again, for the pick'ems. I mean, every year, those Swoggle Squad boys, I feel like we always go with what we think is our brains, but they never work out that way. So you're almost better off going with heart, but normally one of us go for our heart. It's like Rich taking Gargano like way too far. So it's hard to judge. It is hard to judge. The winner of this gets Hiroshi Tanahashi in the first round. That is one hell of a match. Nice lariat there by Jay Briscoe on Mark, long 2 count. Thought he was going to get him. And so did Jay, it looks like. Suit! What's going on, Suit? Well, Jay misses the flying lariat. Mark Briscoe got him up on the shoulders, burning hammer. Let me see if I can do it like Daniel Bryan, my God! Like, to drop him right on his head like Kota Ibushi. Is a former Marcho Madness champion out in the first match? No! Jay Briscoe somehow kicks out of the burning hammer. Kofi's the 13th seed. I mean, this rate, he's gonna, be killing it as a higher seed next year. Maybe, you don't know. It's fair for the year. Have fun realizing the Briscoes fought from 2003. I remember, man. I think Mark was still illegally wrestling. Crucifix bomb. Had Chucky T in the Final Four last year, so it was bad. Yeah, man, that shit, it creeps up and it happens. Nice full Nelson slam by Jay Briscoe. Yeah, Mark Briscoe has to be confused as to what's going on here, because he just hit a burning fucking hammer on Jay Briscoe and it did not end it. Now looking for a power bomb. Power bomb into a pin. Really close to the ropes. And Jay, again, kind of kicked out. A lot of leeway there by the referee. Jay Briscoe has been shook by his brother Mark. Looking for a buckle bomb. Buckle bombs Jay into the corner. Mark Briscoe trying to get his first win in Marcho Madness. What's the record for each Briscoe when they face each other? I actually don't think they've ever faced each other in live Marchos. Mark has only been in 2 Marcho Madnesses. Has to be confused. That's a pretty general statement. Of course, Jay had his own spot in 2015, 2016. I don't think they've ever had a play-in matchup. Is this a second burning hammer? I'll tell you what, it's about to be 1-0. Mark Briscoe drops Jay in the burning hammer for the second time. Rolls in the wrong direction. Ref out of position. 1, 2. Jay, no! Jay does, yes, Jay. Sorry, I confused with my Briscoes. He has taken 2 burning hammers from Mark Briscoe. Man, I feel like I keep seeing this play like every year. No, you'll feel that way with a couple of them later on, with the Usos, with War Raiders, with the Bar, with the Revival. They always get in, but they just a little bit shy of it. And I know the Burning Hammer is Mark Briscoe's finishing maneuver, and Jay Briscoe survived 2 of them. Trying to look back here and see what's going on here. Is he checking to see if Mark Briscoe has been knocked out? I'm not even sure what Jay did to him, but Jay is not. Mark has not taken half the offense that Jay has. For a suplex, misses. And just tackles him down and pounds away at his younger brother. These guys always had weird chemistry. It's kind of like the brotherly Hardy thing. They had good matches, but not great matches. And now Jay Briscoe, man, I gotta tell you, if he somehow survives this match, he is one to look out for. Yep, he is going to set Mark up in the center of the ring for a massive Jay Driller. Mark Briscoe is down. He is out. The ref down for the pin. 1, 2, and 3. Jay Briscoe, with his back against the wall, gets a victory. Goes to 11-4. Lifetime Marcho Madness. Fucking came for fucking up his side of the chicken coop. He did that for his boy Hog Sausage. So Jay Briscoe, the first man to make it out of the play-in round. You'll see Jay Briscoe versus Hiroshi Tanahashi. There's the second Burning Hammer from Mark Briscoe. But it was not enough. So Jay Briscoe looking to join John Cena and Zack Sabre Jr. as the third 2-time Marcho winner. It's going to be the official move of this year's Marcho. I feel like I've seen a couple in just some of the streams. Oh, fuck. I guarantee you it'll come back to me at some point when I see it 6 times in the next hour. Yeah, Jay has fucked up hair now. I think they switched hair gimmicks. Well, Jay had the weird like hair plugs at one point. Moving on, let's get the Jay Driller portion of our show over with our most controversial play-in matchup. The bottom 16 seed, the last 2 guys to get into the tournament. Due to our not oftenly quoted morality clause, it'll be Rich Swann, your current Impact champion. He'll be taking on a man who had a very good year in Impact Wrestling and across other platforms and companies, Sami Callihan. You guys currently embroiled in a storyline in Impact Wrestling. The winner of this loses the Brock Lesnar sweepstakes. They will get Brock Lesnar in the first round of the tournament. So congratulations to one of these 2 guys for their sole win this year. Well, stranger things have happened. You know, I say that. We've seen 2 number 1 seeds fall in the past. Last year we saw AJ Styles lose to Hiroki Goto, and we may see that again this year, depending on the play-in matchup result later. Bell rings were underway, and we also once saw, if I'm not mistaken, Jay Lethal lose to Matt Taven. I haven't finished the episode yet, so I'm eager to see the reasoning for this. reasoning that they're here in the first place, or reasoning that they're both so low. Well, Rich Swann, I mean, Swann's only been champion, 50, 60 days. A newer Impact X Division champion. Callihan, you could argue, probably should have been higher. There's a nice shoulder breaker to start. But, of course, Swann has the things about him in the past. Callihan has had some things about him in the past. The Nazi comment about in the March. So, Sami Callihan is repeatedly stood up for and booked a deathmatch wrestler whose name is escaping me right now. I will look it up here in just a moment. What is this guy's name? I'm looking it up, sorry. Nice kick out. Sorry, I'm getting distracted from the match. Gotta find this right here. You see, looks like he ate the real stuff. He does look a little chunky, a little doughy. The guys are brawling on the outside, as Sami Callihan is going to be prone to do. Shellac is his name. Shellac, the guy who Callihan is supported and gone with all the time, is a Nazi for all intents and purposes. I believe he still gets booked in many places, and Callihan was one of the ones who booked him and got him gigs and has supported him. So that's basically what it was. Also, there's other rumors about Callihan in the past. Sometimes we have to tread lightly with some of the information that we have, because we have friends and other people who tell other people things, and we don't want to be that podcast. We don't want to be on that show. We still know things. We kind of feel crappy. Also, why I put this match on second? So there you go. As somebody who works in the business, Caribbean Kid says Sami Callihan rubs him the wrong way. Yeah, he's had some stuff about him. Talented in the ring, good promo, good character, could very well still be in this tournament. He's got to get through it. As he drop kicks Swan as he's hung up on the second rope. And by the way, when I say we have people like in the business who know things, I want to make the record show. There's a nice roll up there by Swan. That Caribbean Kid is and is not one of them. He's not giving us dirt all the time about people who he's met and people that he knows. So when people start hitting you up for information. He has weirdly, oh god, a sit-out tombstone pile driver by Callihan on Swan. I definitely think that Callihan would have the better chance against Brock than Rich Swann would. There's a 1 count only on that sit-out tombstone. Big boot. Callihan misses whatever he was going for there. So, how big is Batista's dick? We found, it took us 9 years to get there. Nice tornado DDT. Tilt-a-whirl DDT, I should say. Swan drags him away from the ropes, goes for a cover. Looks like Sami Callihan's tights were just covered in tar. So gotta know, like, when you're in the business. Ooh, a flapjack. I was going for a catapult finishing move there. I'm not sure what it would have been. Not a lot of creative wrestlers for both these guys available. So these are kind of the best ones we got. Handspring back elbow misses. Now, full Nelson to a spin out STO. Swan just got busted up with that, and Callihan gets the victory with it. Sami Callihan, as I personally predicted, gets the victory over Rich Swann. That full Nelson spinning it out. Sami Callihan has a date with the Beast, Brock Lesnar, on March 30th. Impact champion Rich Swann eliminated. He goes to 0-2 lifetime in Marcho Madness. Callihan, he's the only person who's making his debut here in the play-in matchups. Not a lot of debuts in general here for this year of Marcho Madness, but he's one of them that have started it 0-1. Should be an interesting fight. We need a return of the pop-up stomp from a couple years ago from Rollins. Yeah, that was. We haven't seen a lot of pop-up or catapult finishers in general. It's not a common thing, I feel like, in the game. But hopefully this year will change it. Sami Callihan, moving on. Our third match, as we kind of again alluded to earlier on, Tyler Barr questioning why Kofi Kingston was 13 seed. Some may question why he's still on his own and not in the triple threat again this year. Well, it's the decision we made, but it doesn't mean that it's not going to lead to a great matchup. Xavier Woods will be taking on Big E. Both men have had good success in this tournament. Xavier Woods is 6-3. Big E is 7-5, and a former Papa Pedigree. He throws him up just for him to land and be crushed down to get stomped. I mean, I still went with you. Big E is a former runner-up in this tournament. Big E was the runner-up to Bully Ray back in 2014. So both these guys, this isn't the first time they've had this as well. Last year, Woods won the triple threat as they respectfully back each other in the corner. And Big E disrespectfully slaps Woods. Woods is incensed. Big E's looking to get back to the promised land, it looks like early. The winner of this gets Cody in the first round of Marcho Madness. Nice DDT by Woods. Woods, as a video game enthusiast, has been very impressive in video games the past couple years in this tournament. Somebody who's routinely lower ranked than Kofi and E. I think he is again in this year's game, but he still always makes it further than I think most would expect him to make it. E throws Woods back in the ring. Got him up on the shoulders. What's E going for? Just a solid back body drop. E looking for a pin on Woods already. Yeah, let's kind of recap the past couple years for both these guys. In 2018, of course, like I said, Woods won the play-in matchup and then beat Matt Jackson in the first round before losing to Ray Rowe from War Raiders, War Machine at the time. And then in 2017, as Woods gets a 0 count on Big E, did each guy have their own spot in the tournament that year? No, they had another play-in. So the past 2 years, Woods has won the play-in matchup. That year, he lost. He beat Timothy Thatcher before falling to Bobby Lashley. In 2016, when they each had their individual spots, all three of them made it to the Sweet 16. Woods lost, as I mentioned in our first match, to Jay Briscoe. E, has struggled in these matches, and that's Marcho's 2016 made it to the Sweet 16 before finally losing to Randy Orton, and then of course in 2014, like I said, he was the runner-up to Bully Ray. Nice hip toss. E that year was the first man to ever make John Cena tap out. Made a big deal about Zack Sabre Jr. making Cena tap out. E was the first one to ever do it. I like both these guys' chances against Cody in a first round matchup. They know each other so well. Woods looking for the honor roll already. Yelling out New Day. Honor roll. E knows it's coming and swats Woods away like a fly. Woods sends E off the top rope to the floor. Now, very interesting here, and something we've actually had in the past that I hope to avoid. If it goes to double countout, there would be an automatic advancement for Cody. We saw that happen to Dolph Ziggler a couple years ago with the bar. Count is at 4. Woods dragging E, smashing his head against the apron. Last year we had a couple different countouts, big ones in fact. Jinder Mahal and Braun Strowman were both counted out in the first round of this tournament. Woods picks E up, kick to the stomach. E smashes him down with a clothesline. E off the ropes, looking for the big splash. Big splash on Woods. Hooks the leg. Count of 1. Oh, only a 1. Ooh, back elbow, and that is busted E right open. Single leg code breaker. Woods. Wheelbarrow takes E down, center of the ring. Xavier Woods looking to keep his streak alive in playing matchups, but he cannot. Is Woods looking for that tightrope elbow drop? No, went for the dropping a dime splash. E is still cased out in the center of the ring. Woods is running to another corner. Big E is still down and out. Oh, and E was totally playing possum. E deadlifts Xavier Woods. Power bomb. Stomp at the stomach. Smack his chest again. Both these guys know each other so well. Xavier Woods avoids the big ending. And drop kicks E. Another hip toss. Pins E. 2 count only. He's still bleeding pretty heavily there. So both guys have countered one of their main offensive maneuvers. They know each other so well. Oh, again, knows him so well. Goes for the wheelbarrow. Swats him away. Got him up. I thought it was going to be a gorilla press. So just a fireman's carry. Stun guns him on the top rope. Woods fires back with an elbow. Kind of been paced like a Fire Pro match. These guys just non-stop with one another. Woods DDT. Woods looking for the honor roll again. Yells out New Day. Honor roll on Big E. Down for the pin. Hooks the leg. Ref for the cover. Count of 2. And he got him. Xavier Woods, 3 years in a row, has eliminated Big E in the first round in a play-in. Xavier Woods has booked his date against Cody. Unbelievable that Big E is still not able to advance to a full-blown first-round match. Xavier Woods now moves to 7-3 in Marcho Men as Big E drops to 7-6 after starting his career 5-1. He's on 2-5 in the past Marcho Madnesses. Xavier Woods, like I said, that video game bump. He's moving on. Lower ranked character. The first lower ranked character winning after 3. Little trumpet celebration. Alrighty. Xavier and Cody. So far we got Jay Briscoe and Hiroshi Tanahashi, Sami Callihan and Brock Lesnar, and Xavier Woods versus Cody Rhodes. Or Cody, sorry. Let's find an opponent for Tatsuya Naito. And it's going to be an opponent that he's somewhat familiar with. I don't know how many times each of these men have squared off, but it is still within the realm of New Japan. It'll be a member of the Gorillas of Destiny. These guys have fought off in the past before. It is Tama Tonga against Tanga Loa. What we got here? Yeah, we'll do that. Just differentiate them. Again, another 1 point discrepancy between the two. And their only appearance in this tournament in the past, Tanga Loa got the surprising win over Tama Tonga. Let's see if Tama can even the score here in Marcho Madness 2019. If I got distracted recently, it's because I saw the news on the Discord that our friend Dave Johnson shared that for some reason, Colin Jost and Michael Che will be hosting Raw tomorrow night, or will be special guests tomorrow night. I know Che's a big wrestling fan, so that kind of makes sense. Oh, jeez, they both guys went for a drop kick, and it looks like Loa actually drop kicked Tonga in the butt cheeks in midair with that. Tonga looking straight out of the Seth Rollins closet. Big splash in the corner on Loa. Big splash in the corner. Look, as much as we all love Camacho, and you know, I still like to call him that because Tonga Loa just doesn't roll off the tongue. I think we all kind of would hope for a Tama Tonga run, as he has got more potential and natural ability. God had a pretty good year. Your current IWGP Tag Team Champions. They had a couple runs with a couple different belts. Shows you how hard of a year this was. The year that the Guerrillas of Destiny didn't yield them getting their own spots, and they still wound up as 13 seeds. 13? Yeah, 13 seeds. Just like Woods and Big E. Big double middle finger to everybody in attendance from Tama Tonga. There's no, I wish they were able to cuss as much as they normally do. My God, the height on that splash by Tama Tonga. The pin on Loa. Ooh, I thought that was going to be it already. Long, too. This has looked like a squash so far. Tonga well-placed boot and then slowing it down with a headlock. Getting up to his feet. Back elbows. Some work on the arm. I'm always looking at the clock here so I can figure out how my March 30th is going to look. This is match 4. We're about 30 minutes in. Of course, that day I'll have 63 matches. So if this one ends in about 10, that's 40 minutes for 4 matches, 10 minutes each. 630 minutes, that's 10 hours. Okay, no, usual, not bad. Take it. Tonga kicks Tama off. Ooh, big spear by Camacho. Now asking Tonga to get to his feet. Got him up on his shoulders. What's he looking for here? Nothing, because Tonga counters it in a reverse DDT. That's knowing your brother. Drags him, puts him up against the ropes. Big clothesline sends him careening to the floor. Oh, Tonga now. Tonga looking to dive. Tonga with a beautiful suicide dive over the top rope, taking out his brother. Uppercut to the stomach. Smashing the head of Tonga against the barricade. And throws him back into the ring. Tonga pins him after sending him into the ring. Only a 2 count. Now twisting that neck from side to side. Ooh, went for Samoan headbutt against Samoan head. Not sure how it's going to go. Strong clothesline sending Tonga to the floor. Always dangerous when you're on the ramp side of the ring, because if you get thrown up that ramp, it's hard for you to return. You saw Johnny Gargano get eliminated like that a couple years ago. I believe that's also how Braun Strowman was eliminated last year. They're smashing each other with these Stan Hansen-like lariats. Nice drop kick. Count is now at 5. Punches him away, blocks it. Tonga gets Tama back in the ring. Tonga gets Tama. I got that right. It's hard to tell sometimes. Loa setting Tonga up on his shoulders for the second time. Shout out to his family member with that Rikishi driver. Drags Tonga away. Is he going to get the second victory over Tama Tonga in this tournament's history? Yes, he does. Tonga Loa has again defeated Tama Tonga. Tama moves to 0-2. Tonga moves to 2-1. He will take on Tatsuya Naito on March 30th. Tama Tonga cannot beat his brother in this tournament. Ooh, big spears we saw earlier. That was kind of the turn in there because Tama had dominated from then on out. Avoided the Rikishi driver the first time. Tonga dove out onto him. Well, it was actually a pretty good match. But in the end, the Rikishi driver was all she wrote. Tonga Loa gets the victory over Tama Tonga. We'll see him March 30th. God being represented. Again, kind of threading through stories here. So let's keep it in the family. Because now it is Uso time. Jimmy and Jay. Neither men have had much success here. In fact, Jimmy's sole win in this tournament came against Jay. The other two instances of them being in this tournament when they had their own spots, both men lost. Which was last year, in fact. So this year, of course, they're getting rewarded for their year by the winner having to take on Braun Strowman. It's who will be taking on Uso will be taking on. Alright, so Jimmy will have the shirt on. Jay will not. I can tell the difference. One face is fatter than the other. I mean, they're Samoan, you know. So yeah, so last year, these guys, who'd they run up against last year where they got eliminated? Jimmy Uso lost to Neville. Jay Uso lost to John Cena. So they didn't necessarily have it the easiest. Bell rings, we're underway. Jimmy coming out hot. Well, our corkscrew elbow drop to Jay. Jimmy already looking to pin Jay. Only a 1. Jimmy trying to get that second win, trying to prove that Jay is the inferior Uso. Nice, another forearm smash. And last year, we can't build up Braun Strowman to be this unbeatable monster. He lost by count out last year. And he finally was pinned in the Elimination Chamber last month by Pasta Malone. Textbook side Russian leg sweep there by Jay Uso. Uppercut, back chop. Nice series of moves, ending with a neck breaker by Jay. Somehow, with something I said just there, my phone thought I said, "Hey Siri," and it started asking a question about Mussolini. That was very weird. Jay kicks the back of Jimmy's leg. Super kick to the stomach and an uppercut. Taking his brother down. Ooh, and a huge shoulder tackle. Again, more fighting on the floor. Jay does not want to win that way. Sends Jimmy back in. Pounding away at his brother. Jay kicking in another gear. Jay wants to get that first win on his plate. Pulling away, bow and arrow submission. Jimmy was nice. Oh, Jimmy with a nice, I forget, it was a strike, and then launch right into that same super kick uppercut combo that Jay had. I mean, you figure these guys' movesets are ideally the same. Kick out. Okay, vertical suplex, snap suplex. Oh, now Jay looking for Tequila Sunrise on his brother Jimmy. He has used this to pick up quite a few wins. Does Jimmy know the counter out of it? He is really working on that. Oh, I thought that was a tap, but that was just one smack on the mat that propelled him to kick out of it. Stereo super kick attempts. Both men, they just high-fived with their soles of their feet. Now Jimmy is fired up now. Oh, Jimmy, what is Jimmy going for? Gonna run and get lunch. Hopefully I don't miss too much. Well, you're about to miss. Jimmy Uso taking a huge risk and failing. Jay Uso swatting Jimmy out of midair. He just crossed body blocked the mat. That hard concrete floor covered by that protective mat did not probably block much. Jimmy Uso just crashed and burned. He's somehow back to his feet and dishing out more punishment. Count is at 5. Jimmy will throw Jay back in and get an elbow planted on the head for good measure. Body slam reversed by Jay. Super kick right to the jaw of Jimmy Uso. One good super kick. Is that all it takes for Jay to move on? Count of 2. Yes, it does. Jay Uso with a super kick has answered back from his previous loss to his brother and will move on in Marcho Madness to take on Braun Strowman in just a few short weeks. Big win for Jay there. Good match between two guys who know each other like the back of their hand. Like I said, just came down to one super kick. They both went for it there in a great moment, and there was the one that hit, knocking Jimmy out and allowing Jay to get the W. It's not paranoia, it is Jay Uso moving on in Marcho Madness. Right, we are 5 matches done. We got 11 more to go. It's time for one we have seen the past couple years quite frequently. It is The Bar one more time in a play-in matchup with one another. Sorry, I accidentally backed out here. There we go. Both men very successful in this tournament's history. There is Cesaro. Remove Sheamus because Sheamus is about to be his competitor. So Cesaro lifetime in this tournament is 6-5-1. Made it to the Elite 8 last year, including tapping out John Cena with the sharpshooter. Sheamus is 8-7-1, now one of 4 men to have never missed a Marcho Madness, along with Samoa Joe, AJ Styles, and Randy Orton. John Cena and Bobby Roode were formerly on that list, but now no longer are. Nice overhead belly-to-belly suplex by Sheamus to get us kicked off here. Sheamus won the 2010 Marcho Madness, the last retroactively simmed Marcho Madness that we ever did. So he didn't win a live Marcho Madness, but he has had a plethora of success. 2017, these guys, like I said earlier, wrestled to a time limit draw in their... wrestled to a double countout, allowing Dolph Ziggler to automatically advance in this tournament. 2016... Take a look at the record here and see where they are. Cesaro lost to Rusev in the first round. Sheamus lost to T-Great Uno in the first round. So those good records aside, a lot of Sheamus's successes came early in this tournament. Cesaro's, it really just came last year. Cesaro's springboard European uppercut. That is a thing of beauty. Ooh, so is that Polish hammer. Double axe by Sheamus. These guys will pound away at each other, brutalize each other at all costs. An attempt by Sheamus. Cesaro gets out of 2. Big knee lift to the side of the face of Cesaro. Winner of this one is going to get one of those 4 men I just talked about that's never missed the tournament. Samoa Joe. It's who they will get. Which either one of those matches is going to be hard-hitting and impressive. Cesaro fights his way out. Sheamus again overhead belly to belly Cesaro off of his feet and over Sheamus's head. Cesaro rolls out to the apron. Was like, not the place you want to be, because I thought Sheamus was going to go for those 10 beats. But instead he just knocks Cesaro down to the floor. And here they go again. These guys brawling out on the floor one more time. Cesaro gets smashed. There's an overhead belly-to-belly of his own, that time on the floor. Count as a 5. Cesaro throws Sheamus back into the ring. Clubbing blow and a good kick to the head. Cesaro gets back into the ring. Pin on Sheamus. And Sheamus trying to avoid exactly what happened to Big E earlier, getting eliminated in a play-in match for the 3rd straight year. Sheamus, Irish curse backbreaker. Ooh, holds on to him, hits him with a second one. 3 Irish curse I can't say the word backbreaker today. Irish curse backbreaker. There we go. Can't ruin my demo here. So kicks Sheamus off. Swiss Death European uppercut out of nowhere on Sheamus. Is that enough to keep the Celtic Warrior down? And is not 2 count only. Cesaro thought he had it. Cesaro needs to get his head back on a swivel because he could literally go right into a sharpshooter there, and Sheamus would be in a very bad position for that. Cesaro smartly rolls out onto the apron. Sheamus asking him to get up. Oh, went for something. Cesaro played possum a little bit. Cesaro will throw Sheamus into the corner. Now throw him over the top rope. Cesaro going to follow him again. These guys love to brawl. I was smashing Sheamus' head against the announce table. It would be crazy. These guys had a double count out. It's the 2nd time in 3 years. Headbutt by Sheamus. Count as a 5 uppercut. Count as at either 6 or 7. Sheamus notices it and gets them both back in. But now Sheamus getting Cesaro up on his feet. Bro kick on Cesaro. Center of the ring. You can count to 1,000,000. Count of 2 and it is over. Sheamus is your winner. Finally making it out of the play-in round for the first time in 3 years. Eliminating Cesaro, who will not follow up his Elite 8 run from last year. Sheamus will wrestle Samoa Joe in what should be a Donnybrook on March 30th. That'll move Sheamus to 9-7-1 in live Marcho Madnesses. Cesaro moves to 6-6-1. That bro kick was devastating. All matter on who had the jump based off of their last bout of brawling. Cesaro even hit Swiss Death, and that was the biggest wasted opportunity in this match. Not following up that move with the sharpshooter right then and there. Sheamus made him pay for it. Sheamus is your winner. Let's return to the world of New Japan for our next play-in matchup. And this one is another one that is pretty spicy in terms of who their first round opponent will be in Marcho Madness. Because the winner of this one's going to take on Seth Rollins. It will be Evil. What's his other attire? I think it's just him in a hood. Yeah, we'll do that one. And Sonata. Yeah, we'll do that one. I think that's more of the Sonata we know now. Evil 1-2 in this tournament. Sonata is 2-2 in this tournament. Last year, if I'm not mistaken, these guys were involved in a play-in matchup, which Evil won. And I think this is the 3rd year in a row these guys are in a play-in matchup with one another. Let me double-check that fact. And I am correct, kind of. So Evil won last year's play-in matchup. And actually, I just realized, our second straight rematch, like the AJ Goto Riddle situation is, Evil last year lost to Seth Rollins in the first round. So Both these guys are fighting for the same thing they did last year, to take on Seth Rollins in the first round of this tournament. Evil won in 2018. Sonata won the triple threat match against Bushi and Evil when they were the six-man tag team champions in 2017. And I misspoke earlier. Sonata was actually the second man ever to get a victory over a number one seed as a 16, defeating Kevin Owens in 2017. Matt Taven was the first, Sonata was the second, last year Goto was the third. So 3 straight years after never having it, we've had 3 straight years of number one seeds being upset. This year, some maybe are looking at Tommaso Ciampa to be that upset there. AJ just had it happen to him against Goto last year. Elias could shock the world against Omega, Callahan and Brock. A lot of things are possible. Evil, even early on in this match, slowing it down with a chin lock. Really working Sonata over with it too. First, Sonata is going to look for either the moonsault or the Dragon Sleeper. Evil looking for everything is evil at STO. Big clothesline there by Sonata. Evil went for it all with a splash, and Sonata got out of the way. Sonata answers back with a second clothesline. Big chop by Evil. That was a Walter-sized chop on Sonata. Evil sent over the top rope. Sonata says not today and gets him back in. A long 1 count there after throwing Evil back into the ring. The stump puller. Shades of Big Bully Busick there. Looks like Evil was tapping out. Evil again went for a splash in the corner, so that avoids it. And a running neck breaker. Evil now. Look at this deadlift. It looks like a bear hug suplex. I don't even know if that's a thing. Evil. They kind of awkwardly bump into each other. Evil. Fireman's carry. Stun gun. I think that might be the one, M. Patrick. That might be our... I think you actually stepped away, but I think that might be our move of the year. Oh, nice. Fireman's carry into us. Power bomb. I believe that is one of Evil's signature maneuvers. It's escaping me what he calls that, but that could be enough to beat Sonata here. No, only a 2. Now Evil getting Sonata to his feet. Is it time for everything is evil? Nope. Yes, it is. Everything is evil. Pin on Sonata immediately. Count of 2. One more time. Evil will get Seth Rollins. He has defeated Sonata for the 2nd straight year. And that was pretty impressive, if I do say so myself. Maybe our shortest play-in match thus far. Evil now will go to 2-2. Sonata jumps down to 2-3. Seth Rollins, watch out, because Evil is coming for you. Alrighty, so Evil, another man who's trying to make up for past losses and discretions, trying to get back to the place that he failed previously. We'll see if he can do it on March 30th. Now, our halfway point, and maybe this is our highest seeded play-in matchup against our two most high-profile, well, two of our most high-profile former main eventers, former high seeds in this tournament, who have both had weird, injury-laden, and improperly guided years taking on one another. It is Dean Ambrose, maybe for the last time, we don't know, taking on Kevin Owens. The winner of this one is going to get Ortiz from LAX. So despite the fact this is a play-in matchup, some may say would be the favorite in whichever situation they find themselves in the next round. Both these guys have also mightily struggled in Marcho Madnesses. So last year, Kevin Owens got his first live Marcho Madness win after starting his career 0-4. That one came against Sami Zayn. Oh, man. Of course, this is in, like, the weird independent arena, if I'm not mistaken. Nice shoulder tackle by KO. He would end up losing to Seth Rollins, who we've talked about a lot on the show. Ambrose, I think, was still in the tournament last year. Yes, he lost to Johnny Mundo in the first round. Ambrose is 4-7 in live Marcho Madnesses. So both guys, Ambrose's first half of the year plagued by injury, KO's second half of the year plagued by injury. Oh, this is the Beast from the East Arena. Okay. I see it in the background there. KO working away at the head of Ambrose. Looking to pin him. Ref down in position. Only a 1. Yeah, no one knows what the future holds for Dean Ambrose in the world of wrestling. KO just coming back. Slimmer. Already getting a main event title opportunity. Excuse me, a week from today, from when I'm recording this. He could conceivably be your champion before Marcho Madness. Big kick to the back. Stomping a lot of work on the face of Ambrose. Owens now working on the knee of Ambrose. Going up on his shoulders. Gut buster. And a senton by Owens. Owens working swiftly and quickly so far in this one. Pin on Ambrose after the senton, only a 1. Going to take more than that to put Ambrose away. Ambrose in the corner. Big clothesline by KO. Ambrose kind of quickly got that shoulder up off of that. And Owens was still somehow surprised, but it was like a more of a nonchalant shoulder up. Ambrose trying to send a message that what KO's bringing to him isn't shit so far, even though he's been taking a lot of shit. Owens sent over the top rope by Ambrose. Ambrose going to suplex him back into the ring. Nice suplex and a good show of strength. Ooh, look at the... Oh my God, the authority of those punches. The cameraman was shaking away like it was... The crowd was very hot. Not even a 1 count though. Ambrose now slowing it down with a headlock. Grinding away at the head of Owens. Owens, this pump handle. Oh, down onto the knee. Beautiful pump handle. Neck breaker. Driving that head onto the knee of Owens. Now looking to get Ambrose to his feet. Looking pop-up powerbomb. Ambrose sent off the ropes. Ambrose, no, counters it with a Hurricane Rana. He actually won the Intercontinental title from Owens that way. Countering the pop-up powerbomb into a Hurricane Rana. Ambrose sets KO up on the ropes. Owens blocks it. Rebound lariat. Shout out to Nigel McGuinness with that one from Ambrose. Ambrose thinking dirty deeds. Center of the ring. Got his head and arms locked. Owens gets out of the dirty deeds. Both men have countered each other's signature maneuvers. Oh, and with that rake of the eyes, all that work that Owens put on the face earlier of Ambrose, stomping away at it is busting Ambrose open. That's not going to rattle Ambrose, so I think he actually likes it when that happens. Ambrose, a former deathmatch veteran. Owens getting Ambrose to his feet. Looking for a second time here. Pop up. No, Ambrose again counters the pop-up powerbomb. These guys are just going to straight WrestleMania main event territory with these counters. Ambrose hits dirty deeds on KO. Hooks the leg. Ambrose to advance to face Ortiz. No, kick out at 2. Seen a good mixture here of finishers getting kicked out of and not getting kicked out of. So each finisher has been a little bit of a mystery to it. Schoolboy, no, rolls through into another dirty deeds. Beautiful series by Ambrose, tricking Owens, hooks the leg, and Ambrose gets the victory over KO. Dean Ambrose continues Kevin Owens' futility in this tournament. Here you see he avoids 2 pop-up powerbombs from Owens, hits the rebound lariat, hits this dirty deeds. Oh, no, I'm sorry, that was not the dirty deeds he hit. This was the one that he did hit, that only was a 2, and then he answered right back with a roll-up into a second dirty deeds. And Dean Ambrose will wrestle Ortiz in Marcho Madness. Ambrose now moves to 5-7. Live Marcho Madnesses. Kevin Owens, an embarrassing 1-6 in this tournament. Very good match, and like I was saying, you never know what these finishers are coming from or what they mean. We saw Sheamus hit one and it was over with. We saw Tonga Loa hit one and it was over with. But we saw Mark Briscoe hit 2 and was able to put his brother away earlier, so you never know. Alright, it's time for our 9th of 16 play-in matchups. We are in the back half of these play-ins. And for the 3rd time, these guys will be wrestling each other in a play-in. Their first time they're actually in the game, however. It is the War Raiders, formerly War Machine. It is Hanson versus Rowe. They've, like I said, done this on 2 previous occasions, each with success. Last year, Ray Rowe defeated Hanson in the play-in, then also went on to defeat Bobby Roode and Xavier Woods before finally losing to Kenny King in the Sweet 16. In 2017, it was Hanson, I think, or was it in 2016 here? The bells rung and were underway. In 2016, I think. Yeah, 2016, these guys had the best play-in matchup of the whole tournament. Hanson got the victory and defeated Kevin Owens before losing to Drew Galloway in the 2nd round. So each guy is at Rowe is at 3-2. Hanson is at 2-2. Hanson just squashed Rowe with that cross-body block. Now they're the current NXT Tag Team Champions in the game. These guys have just improved and improved. If they have a good year like Undisputed Era did this year, they will find themselves with their own spots next year with our new tag team, our 2 tag team rule. Rowe. Look at the strength of Rowe. He is a beast. Picking up his partner like that. Rowe sends him off the corner, ducks down. Sends Hanson in the corner. Nice series of offense. He thinks that's enough. He knows a weakness in his partner that we don't. Down for the cover on Hanson, not even a 1. Hanson quick to get to his feet. The winner of this one gets Roman Reigns in the 1st round. The returning Roman Reigns. Roman has had a very eclectic history in this tournament. Last year, Roman made it to the Sweet 16 before losing to Neville. There's an amazing reverse gut-wrench suplex from the top, or from the 2nd rope by Rowe. And in 2017, Roman was eliminated by Luke Harper in the 1st round. Rowe just deadlift German suplex Hanson. In 2016, I think Roman was also eliminated in the 1st round. Nice clothesline there by Hanson. Roman was winning by Matt Sydal. So Roman in the past couple years, like I said, inconsistent, and both these guys have proven to be upset specials. They can bust your bracket, just like Hansen just busted the guts of Rowe with that splash. Hansen, ooh, nice leg drop onto the arm of Rowe, sorry. You're getting some of these tag teams confused. Those two couldn't look any more different. Sidewalk slam there by Hansen on Rowe. Picking him up, smashing him. Slowing the pace down a little bit here. You've seen some of these chin locks and rest holds have been lengthy, and you gotta imagine what the damage that's taking for the characters in the game. Hansen now powerbomb into a jackknife cover. Again, I would question that Rowe's arm was underneath the ropes there. Rope breaks are set up, if I'm not mistaken. The rest are just ignoring it. There's that spin kick. That heavy leg of Hansen. Working overtime. Rowe off the ropes. Hip tosses it down. Misses the kick follow-up. Nice suplex. Double underhook suplex, like a dragon almost. And now Hansen looking to end Ray Rowe in 2019's Marcho Madness. Picks him up. Nope. Rowe avoids it. Side Russian leg sweep. And these tag teams, they know each other because they see each other every single night. Rowe looking for... Oh, I think that was Death Row. That full Nelson back kick on the Hansen. Count of two. And he gets him with it. Ray Rowe, or just Rowe now, for the second straight year has eliminated Hansen in this tournament. That one kind of came out of nowhere. No replays on that. Not a lot of highlights. It's kind of bowling shoe ugly of a match. It doesn't matter. Rowe got the result he wanted. He moves to 4-2 in live Marcho Madnesses. It'll be Rowe against Roman. That's how I'm going to pitch that one. On March 30th, Rowe moves on against Hansen. Alrighty. We are at a very pace that I like. In that it's been about an hour and we got 9 matches in. Some of you may... of course, I want some longer matches. I want some drama. And I'm sure we will get some when the matches get a little bit more close and varied. But for the purposes of my day, right now, I'm all right with this. Match 10. If you want to go get a drink, a snack, or take a dump, now would be the time, I think, in most of your minds to do so, because it is Baron Corbin against Dolph Ziggler. Two men who had shockingly good years, but we refuse to give their own spot. And of course, I don't update the characters in the game, so we still have not bald Baron Corbin. So we get to enjoy his receding hairline, hopefully just one more time. Although, in live Marcho Madnesses, Baron Corbin is 4-3, including for the past 2 years being an 8 seed and eliminating Okada in the second round, both in 2017 and 2018. He, of course, answered each time by immediately being eliminated by Chris Jericho and Ricochet. Ziggler has not been in the tournament for the past couple... he wasn't in the tournament last year. Okada vs. EC3 better watch out. What's up, B-Sum? Dolph made it to the Sweet 16 by only winning 1 match because of the bar situation we talked about. Dolph, however, just like Big E, a former runner-up in a Marcho Madness. He was the runner-up in 2012 to Tensai. In our weirdest year of all time. No, I'm sorry, 2013, Dolph was the runner-up to Tensai. He defeated Brodus Clay, Jack Swagger, Justin Gabriel, Jesus, nobody important, Cody, and then Heath Slater in the worst, the worst run. So literally in order, he beat Heath Slater, Cody Rhodes, Justin Gabriel, Jack Swagger, and Brodus Clay to make it to the championship in 2013. He's 11-7 in live Marcho Madnesses. Last year was the first one that he has missed. And this might be the last one that he's in. The winner of this gets, as I talked about just a few moments ago, gets Drew McIntyre. So, of course, we can see either the Buddies wrestle or the former Buddies wrestle. I don't know if you can hear the crowd, but they're just booing nonstop. Just, whoa. Just don't want to. Hearing those names, all I can think of is, thank God New Japan got bigger. Hey, you're telling me, nice slingshot to the middle rope by Dolph. Yeah, we really should have. I mean, like, Justin Gabriel and Heath Slater being in this tournament on a routine basis really makes me want to go back and be like, oh yeah, let's put Tanahashi and Okada in these. I mean, granted, they weren't nationally exposed at the time. WWE, Impact, and ROH were the only three on North American television. Which is also the same reason why, like, you know, All Japan, you know, for all intents and purposes, nowhere near the caliber of New Japan at the moment, but no consistent North American television presence. One of the main things we go based off of. And these two just having their same old fucking match. Dolph asks Baron to stand up. Baron takes his sweet time. Dolph takes his sweet time doing anything, and then nothing happens. Beautiful. Wonderful work, guys. Dolph pounding away. Corbin in the corner. Oh, we had people watching us. Where'd they all go? I wonder. Sorry, I know I'm supposed to be impartial. I promise we have the Lucha Bros coming up after this. So tell your friends to get back for the Lucha Bros. Belly to back and a nip up by Dolph. Way to go, Dolph. Dolph, look at speed. Ziggler hasn't moved that fast since 2012. Asking Baron to get to his feet. Top rope. Nice missile drop kick by Ziggler on Baron Corbin. Famous, sir, by Dolph. His leg is caught on the bottom rope, trying to put Corbin away. So Corbin is nowhere near Okada. Actually, I didn't even look at that. Where the hell are they in this bracket? They're on this side. Okay, Okada's on the other side of the bracket. So that match. Oh, wait, is he? Where the fuck is Okada? Yeah, Okada's on the other side of the bracket. So the only way. Ooh, nice chokeslam backbreaker. The only way we'll get to see Corbin and Okada again would be in the finals. Now, if you watched Swoggle last year, our annual super card to end our season, Zigzag, you know that Okada finally avenged his loss to Corbin, and Ziggler's about to avenge Corbin out of this tournament. Dolph Ziggler with the zigzag eliminates Baron Corbin. Wife had successful surgery, so that's good. I also had a theater audition today. That went awesome to hear, Caribbean Kid. Good news abound. We have lost Baron Corbin as well, so that's a positive. The surgery and the audition was much more impressive. It's been a good day until I saw this match. Well, thankfully it was short. It's over. Dolph Ziggler is your winner, so Corbin moves to 4-4 live Marcho Madnesses. Dolph moves to 12-7. Again, I said it's rare that you see a guy so far get more than 10 wins in this thing, and Dolph's proved me wrong. So we'll have Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre. I think somehow Dolph is rated like either the same or higher than McIntyre, which is just dumb. Oh, well, it was painless enough. Now let's get to some good shit, huh? We have one more of those kind of coming up, but I think everything else from here on out is pretty spicy. And it's going to be, the original SmackDown. The Lucha Bros, one of the teams that almost sneaked in here as their own individual participants, will now be battling each other. It is Pentagon Jr. What attires we have here? We'll do... No, I'm kind of digging the red. We'll do the red. We'll be taking on Phoenix, or Ray Phoenix. I think he's Ray here still. Ray Phoenix? Yeah, we'll do that kind of like the purple or the blue. Pentagon 0-2 in this tournament, but he has had quite. Pentagon Jr. is very interesting. The past 2 years that he's been in the tournament, he has wrestled in Podswoggle title matches. The first year, 2016, he was in. He wrestled Finn Balor, who was the current champion, lost his first round match. Missed the 2017 tournament. And last year, 2018, he defended the Podswoggle Championship in his first match and lost it to Zack Sabre Jr. Phoenix won his play-in matchup against Hiromu Takahashi and then had an amazing match, one of the best in the tournament last year, to Brock Lesnar. That is actually caught up and available on our YouTube channel for your viewing pleasure. Now the two brothers are pretty much an established tag team, despite the fact that Pentagon was Impact World Champion this year. Battling each other now, the current Impact Tag Team Champions. They have amazing chemistry and a crazy moveset for each. Winner of this, nice tornado DDT by Pentagon. Winner of this gets Will Ospreay. That's an incredible first round matchup either way it goes. That's a pretty svelte Pentagon as well. Nice super kick to the stomach. And another running super kick to the face. These two wrestling a breakneck pace. Phoenix clothesline Pentagon to the floor. The Phoenix, I thought he was going to do like a slingshot splash. Instead, just lands on his feet, slingshotting himself out. Insaguri blocked. Leg checks him. Big chop. Pentagon smashes the head of Phoenix against the table. Count is up to 4. Nice forearm shot. Count is now at 6. Smashes the head of Pentagon against the apron. Up to 7 now. Phoenix will get Pentagon back in. Knee lift by Pentagon gets his brother off of him. Smashing the knee with his arm is Pentagon. Pentagon, of course, we can see him over at the P1 Pinnacle Tournament on Fire Pro Wrestling on our YouTube channel every single Monday night. He's been very impressive. Breaker of Bones, the man of zero fear, looking for that Fear Factor package pile driver. A Mexican Destroyer. Phoenix, so many moves. Springboard, 450. Phoenix driver. Pentagon sends his brother into the steel steps. These guys battling around the ring like it's the temple. Another good chop. Phoenix grabbed by his brother. It's thrown back into the ring. Kind of always get worried when they get stuck there on the steps. Count is at 8 now. Pentagon boots Phoenix in the head. Gets back in at 9. Pentagon cutting it close. Kicks Phoenix in the midsection. Oh, looking for that Pentagon. The pump handle driver into a pin. Phoenix is in trouble. Pentagon gets him with it. Didn't even need the Fear Factor. Again, we are briskly moving along here. Pentagon didn't even need the Fear Factor. Cradles his brother up and gets the win. Pentagon gets his first Marcho Madness victory. We will see him against Will Ospreay on March 30th. Must feel good for Pentagon to finally get the win. Feels bad for his brother who stole the show last year against Brock Lesnar, but there's always 2020 with Barbara Walters. All right. Oh, hell yeah, Velocity. Let's do it. Oh, this is perfect for these two because they were both around when Velocity was a thing. Much like the Baron Corbin-Dolph Ziggler match, we just don't even want to with these two, but they got to be here, so let's do it. Jeff Hardy versus Randy Orton. Two staples of Marcho Madness for how much longer? Who knows? So Jeff Hardy in this tournament is 11-6-1. He has been impressive in this tournament's history. Last year, he defeated his brother Matt in the play-in and then made it all the way to the Sweet 16 before losing to Nick Jackson. Randy Orton last year in this tournament, as the ref rings the bell. Orton was eliminated in the second round by Roman Reigns. Randy Orton, nobody has more wins in Marcho Madness without a championship than Randy Orton. He is 14-8 lifetime in Marcho Madness, having never missed the tournament. If you go all-time cumulative to every Marcho Madness ever, he is 37-17. Man's been in 54 matches in Marcho Madness, which is insane. But I've watched 54 computer-simulated Randy Orton matches in my life. Nice running dropkick by Orton, and he has never won the whole thing. What is right? Orton's just carrying Hardy around and smashing him on the ring steps. Let's quickly, instead of calling action on this match, let's quickly recap Randy Orton's live Marcho Madness resume, shall we? The inaugural Marcho Madness in 2011, Orton made it to the Sweet 16 before being eliminated by eventual winner Matt Morgan. 2012, Randy Orton made it to the Elite 8 before eventually losing to runner-up Eddie Edwards. 2013, Orton was eliminated in the first round, if I'm not mistaken. Where are you at, Randy? Awkwardly bumping into each other in the ring here. Yes, Randy Orton was eliminated in the first round by Mr. Anderson, which is funny. You know their history. 2014, Orton was a number 1 seed and made it to the Sweet 16 before being eliminated by Abyss. 2015, Randy Orton was eliminated by Stardust in the first round. That was a play-in matchup that Stardust had already wrestled as well. Sweet 16, Orton made it back to the Elite 8, eliminated by eventual runner-up Triple H. And then in 2017, Randy Orton made it again to the Elite 8 before he lost to eventual runner-up John Cena. So when Orton loses, Orton normally loses to somebody pretty important and loses to somebody who either wins the whole thing or gets the runner-up. So Orton's not a slouch. Orton knows how to get there. Already giving him some trouble in this one, though. Winner of this one gets Jeff Cobb. Very interested to see how both men stack up against Cobb. Nice shoulder tackle, sending Orton to the floor. Of course, Jeff Hardy's going to take a silly chance. We saw Jimmy Uso try this earlier, and it led to his loss. Went for that big splash, and he came up empty-handed. Jeff Hardy with a crossbody block hits Orton with it. Hardy sends Orton back into the ring quickly. After that high risk yields the high reward. Hit to the midsection. Jeff Hardy, twist of fate on Orton. But he didn't follow it up with a pin or a swanton bomb. How is that going to cost him? We're going to find out. Oh, man, he's got him perfectly perpendicular to himself. He's going to have to change directions in mid-air. No, he won't, because Orton knew he was coming with it and got out of the way. RKO by Orton. Slithers into the cover. Hardy had this one in control, and Orton snatches it from him. Randy Orton, again, is moving on in this tournament. That played out like a perfect 5-minute television match. Randy Orton now 15-8 in live Marcho Madnesses. Knew exactly what he was doing. Goaded Jeff Hardy in and makes him pay the price for it. Randy Orton still looking for that first championship here. Perfect sequence. Twist of fate by Hardy. Has him ready for it. Sets him up for the Swanton Bomb. Orton immediately moves out of the way. Hardy to his feet, RKO. And that was all she wrote. Randy Orton still here. He finally win this title. It's Marcho Madness crown. Find out on March 30th because he's still in it. His stupid-ass haircut. That moves him to 38-18 all-time. Alrighty, next. Another match we've seen here for the third time we're seeing it as a play-in. Two teammates who just squeaked in this tournament because they're your current Raw Tag Team Champions. It is Dash Wilder and Scott Dawson. Scott Dawson has won this match both times we've ran it. So Dash is 0-2. Dawson's only wins have come against Dash. That match did not happen last year. I know that for a fact. That match happened in 2017. Dawson lost to your eventual champion, Zack Sabre Jr. So no harm there. And then in 2016, as the bell's rung and this match gets underway, Dawson lost to EC3 in the first round. Nice clothesline by Dawson. Dawson's a guy who I think could have a sneaky good tournament if he gets the right set of situations. Unfortunately, the winner of this takes on Okada in their first match. So, you know, if he's matched up against like Ortiz, like Ambrose is, or maybe even, you know, like Woods against Cody, somebody kind of comparable to him. But Okada is going to be much higher in terms of rank. Dawson's already going to work on Dash. I am late to the party. How the play-in shaping up, Professor Pirate? Not a problem because the whole thing's gonna be available for you on YouTube before the week is out. This is match 13 of 16. We are moving at a wonderful pace. We are an hour and a half in. A nice float over suplex there by Dash. Play-in matchup victories so far for Jay Briscoe, Sami Callihan, Xavier Woods, Tonga Loa, Jay Uso, Sheamus, Evil, Dean Ambrose, Rowe, Dolph Ziggler, Pentagon Jr., and Randy Orton. All men, so people already eliminated from Marcho Madness this year have been Mark Briscoe, Rich Swann, Big E, Tama Tonga, Jimmy Uso, Cesaro, Sonata, Kevin Owens, Hanson, Baron Corbin, Phoenix, and Jeff Hardy. All already gone from Marcho Madness 2019. Either Dash or Dawson's about to follow them. Dawson just being ruthless with Dash. I like what I've seen from Scott Dawson so far. Nice chop by Dash. No flips, just chops. Clothesline misses. Always felt that Scott Dawson was the more ruthless of the two. I agree. Count is at 4. Dash is Arn. I'm sorry, Dash is Tully. Scott is Arn. Dawson throws Dash back in. Smashes the knee of Dash. He thinks that's enough. Center of the ring. Got to take advantage of that placing, positioning. Good knee lift there by Dash. From what I hear, there's an opening in WWE for an Arn. Well, Dawson, man, hold on. Okay, so I want to see how old Scott Dawson is right now and see in what year that's what Arn Anderson's age was, because, man, Arn Anderson is still, like, younger than, like the fucking Undertaker or something. I know that's not a fact, but I'm not far off. So Scott Dawson is 34 years old. Wow, that's terrible. He will soon be 35. So 34 is the age of Scott Dawson. Arn Anderson was 34 in 1992. So, like, no. No, he was 34 in... Yeah, no, I was right. 1992. So when, like, the Dangerous Alliance was happening, that's when Arn Anderson was 32 years old. I know he looks like he was fucking 40, but nope. That's nuts. Dash clotheslines Dawson in the corner. Dawson gets out. Arn would be retired 5 years later. Man, Dawson, so jeez, all those numbers and all those facts are just crazy to me. Arn Anderson has looked in his 40s since he was 20. It's true. It's the same thing with Luke Gallows. Sweeps the leg. Does Dawson? Dash smashes Dawson's head in the corner. Go behind. Nice German suplex by Dash. Dash starting to pick up some momentum. Dawson sweeps the legs out. Now look at this. Nice move. We've seen Dawson make Johnny Gargano tap out to this hold in the past. Beautiful reverse figure four. That leg of Dash is vibrating. Something crazy. He hangs on. Situation I can relate to, sadly. I'm getting there, man. I feel like in the face I'm starting to look like hell. Oh, look at Dawson. Dawson's so desperate to advance, he's cheating. And it works! Scott Dawson, after the submission hold, pins his partner, puts his feet on the ropes, and cheats his way to his third victory. Dash Wilder still 0-3 in this tournament. Scott Dawson moves to 3-2, and he will have a date with Okada on March 30th. Scott Dawson unafraid to cheat against his friend on his own part in the most characteristic way either of them could have won. Okada's got to watch out for that. I tell you, Dawson impressed me. He looked very good in this match. You see that submission hold again. The legs of Dash were so hurt that he also couldn't. The combination of that and powering out of this cheating predicament. He hooked the leg. His legs were too weak to power out the pin. If I can legalize this for a minute. And Dawson takes advantage. Scott Dawson, your winner. All right, we have 3 play-ins to go. And this one is a rematch from last year. A play-in matchup that had all kinds of implications on the future of this tournament, the future of that year's tournament. It is Hiroki Goto taking on Matt Riddle. Poor Dash Wilder, forever the Tully. Don't really. We'll do that one. They played in a 6, and also as a 16 seed last year. Both men were 16 seeds in last year's tournament. Goto got the victory over Riddle in Riddle's debut. Goto is a 2-2 in this tournament. His second victory came against AJ Styles, the third ever 16-1 upset. The winner of this match gets AJ Styles. I'm pulling for Goto here only, and I mean only because I can't stand barefoot wrestlers. We are in Indie-rific arena as Goto comes out hot against Riddle. Crazy would be if Goto can just replicate his year one more time. Oh, that mat is disgusting. Oh my god. Nice spear takedown there by Riddle. I believe my daughter has awoken. Glad she made it 14 matches in. So fair. Oh, nice knee by Riddle. So you don't want to be barefoot on that. No, that is staff waiting to happen. Riddle snaps Goto off the ropes. Looks like every indie canvas I've ever wrestled on. Oh boy. Riddle hooks the leg, not even a 1. Running DDT by Goto on Riddle. AJ Styles is very, very susceptible to upsets. AJ is 6-8 in live Marcho Madness. I can believe that. He has a good sense to wear boots, though. Yeah, he does. He's not a savage. I'm in a full body morph suit. Very true. Nice uppercut knee. Goto likes smashing the head in the face of a man onto his knee. Riddle just kicks the foot. Getting kicked in the face with that foot after everything that's happened also has got to be gross. Sharpshooter. Finally a rope break. Took 14 matches for a rope break. Oh, then you drag him on it? Ugh. Riddle. Gonna gut lift Goto into a German. Keeps the bridge handy. Only a 1. Backdrop by Goto on Riddle. Now slapping on an arm hold. Twisting that arm. Ooh, maybe even popping that shoulder out of the socket. My ankles thank me. Nice reverse DDT by Riddle. Now asking Goto to get up. Is he looking for that pump knee? Nope. Kicked at the midsection. Oh. And now into a... Oh, kind of the closest thing to a bro mission this game has. Naomi's glow submission. Middle of the ring. Goto is in trouble off of this pseudo bro mission, and he survives it. John Cena could have learned a lesson from you. The bro mission. The pin. No, 2 count only. Riddle thought he had squeezed enough life out of Goto. John Cena's a cyborg, probably. Nothing actually breaks on him. Single leg Boston Crab. This one getting submission heavy now. Riddle was going to crawl to the ropes and realize he could shift his weight and get out of it. Yeah, say what you will about Goto, but he's tough. He's going to have to be, because now he's locked in a triangle choke. Center of the ring. Did you just jinx him? Nope. Goto instead will deadlift Riddle up and powerbomb and break the hold. Not a lot of impact on that, but enough for Riddle to release. Belly to back suplex. Excuse me. Uppercut by Riddle. Now. Oh, beautiful. Like a small package driver. Riddle wanting to get his first Marcho Madness win. Got Riddle. Oh, sorry, got Goto all kinds of shooken up. Now launching into a comeback. Two forearms and a Pele. Remember when his elbow exploded. Back to John Cena. Now Riddle. Oh, went for the tombstone. Goto gets out of it. Yeah, I was going to say, this has definitely been our best play-in matchup, I think, so far. Oh, no. Got him set up. Ushigarashi. And immediately into a side headlock. Now, this is the kind of matches and action I've been looking for. It's been a kind of a low-key play-in matchups. Rival wasn't half bad. Guerrillas of Destiny wasn't half bad. Ambrose KO had some good moments. But this is the Marcho Madness wrestling I was looking to see. 2 count off of the Ushigarashi headlock. Riddle avoids the knee. Riddle seems to always bring it. That is right. Was that big... I didn't see how much of an impact that knee had. Catches the leg. Goto. Oh no, GTR. GTR by Goto on Riddle. He's got to get him away from the ropes, but is Goto going to upset Riddle for the 2nd straight year? Ref out of position, but still going to count. And Goto does. Goto eliminates Matt Riddle for the 2nd straight year. Riddle goes to 0-2 lifetime, and Hiroki Goto will once again see AJ Styles in the first round. Boots for the win. Hiroki Goto. Can he do it one more time and shock the world and defeat AJ Styles? We'll find out in just a few we'll find out in 27 days. Riddle, a hell of an effort. Next year we'll be in the game. We'll see how much of an impact that has on his performance. Also, we'll see if he's up against Hiroki Goto again.
Here is your winner, Hero T. Gordon.
We have 2 matches. If Goto beats AJ again, you will need to make a version of him as the Shockmaster. We have 2 matches left, and they are 2 good ones. Past couple years, they've been on their own. This year, they are back into a play-in. It is the Young Bucks colliding. It is Matt Jackson taking on Nick Jackson. Last year, as Rich said on the play-in match, almost kind of settled it who the better Jackson is, even though I think we kind of had a sense for a while. So Matt Jackson is 3-6 all-time Marcho Madness. Last year he lost in the first round to Xavier Woods. The previous year, were they in a play in the previous year as well? 2017. And Matt actually won the play-in in 2017 and then defeated EC3. So that's kind of where some of his success came from. Last year, Nick Jackson made it all the way to the Final Four of this tournament. Nick Jackson last year defeated Akam, Hiroshi Tanahashi, Jeff Hardy, and Seth Rollins before finally succumbing to Brock Lesnar. We'll see what happens this year. The winner of this one will get Johnny Impact in the first round. Ooh, nice trouble in paradise kick. A smack of that boot onto the face of Matt Jackson. Sounds like Nick Jackson's biggest hurdle is his brother then. It's true. Well, I think in previous... Let's take a look at previous years. In 2016... Matt gets sent flying over the top rope. In 2016, they had their own individual spots. Matt Jackson lost to Bobby Roode. Nick Jackson made it out of the first round by defeating Kyle O'Reilly before losing to Finn Balor. In 2015, as Nick continues to bowl over Matt Jackson. In 2015, they each had their own individual spots again. Matt Jackson lost to Bad News Barrett. Nick Jackson lost to MVP, so a bad year for each of them. 2014, Nick Jackson won the play-in and then lost to John Cena right away. Man, forget, the Young Bucks have been in this tournament like almost every year. All the way back to them as Generation Me as well. And their first year as Bucks, of course, they both lost to Randy Orton and CM Punk. But now they're executive vice presidents and in one of the biggest draws in wrestling. Oh, shoulder tackle. Nick's still wrestling like a heavyweight. Leg drops onto his brother. He's feeling confident. Clearly they matriculated well, yeah. Nice head scissors there. Nice drop kick. Everything Nick Jackson does has been nice. Nice Nick Jackson. Float over headlock. Bashing his brother's head into the buckle. Long 2 count there. Sorry, got distracted by something. Now Matt bashing his brother's head in with his elbow. I think both we saw earlier, it took one super kick for Jay to defeat Jimmy. Will it only take one super kick for either of these guys to win? Matt going to the top, waiting for his brother to sit still. No, he wants him to get to his feet. He's really close. And that is why he was really close. Top rope Hurricane Rana. Now Matt, oh, here it comes. Super kick misses. I was so excited to call it. I was not prepared for a miss. A lot of kicks to the stomach, but none of them of the super variety. Oh, Nick off the ropes. Super kick! Oh, we got a barrage on our hands. Super kick again by Nick. Third time off the ropes. Super kick. That one busts Matt wide open. Nick hooks the leg. Again, no rope break called. Ref out of position. Doesn't matter. The super kick barrage gets the victory for Nick Jackson. Matt continues to lose to his brother. He goes to 3-7. Nick goes to 7-6. And Nick Jackson gets Johnny Impact when we see you on March 30th. Ooh, there's 3 straight super kicks and busting him open. Let's take a look from this angle if we can see. Oh, it's close. The ref didn't call for the break. Nick Jackson looking to repeat his Final Four performance last year. Got the first step out of the way, getting rid of his brother in Marcho Madness, which leads us to our 16th and final play-in matchup. Can we actually do this under 2 hours? That would be lovely. And it is a match we've seen a few times as of late, but nobody has gotten tired of, so we're going to do it here one more time. It is Andrade, formerly Cien Almas, taking on Rey Mysterio, who is back in the game. This one's going to be good. Almas made his debut in the tournament last year. He is 0-1, his first time actually in the game, however. Rey Mysterio, of course, joined this tournament the tournament started in 2011, left WWE in 2014. A lot of different things have happened, a lot of injuries, a lot of lower profile. Is only 0-2 in live Marcho Madnesses. Lifetime, he is 5-15 as the smaller man. He has had some struggles, of course. Rey Mysterio's 2 live Marcho Madness matches. Let me see if I can go back in the annals and find them. The first one was against Mason Ryan in Mason Ryan's epic Final Four run in 2011, so that one makes sense. And then Rey's second appearance in this tournament, let me see if I can find it, as Andrade dominates Rey in the early goings of this match. His second appearance in this tournament, I think, was in 2013. Nice spinning heel kick by Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio's second appearance, it was in 2013, losing to Samoa Joe in the first round. So Rey has gone against 2 beasts, 2 monsters in Marcho Madness' past. He's almost as much more his speed, and even his opponent in the first round, Shinsuke Nakamura, would be more of his speed. Almost looking like Alberto Del Rio here early. Double stomp down on a Mysterio in the Tree of Woe position by Andrade. Andrade so fast, so agile. Look how quickly he made all that look. Andrade, beautiful sky twister press on the Mysterio. He's not being tranquilo at all. He is being aggressive. I don't know what the Spanish equivalent of that is, and I didn't want to make one up. We're using some more lucha tricks. We can do it a second time. A little modified monkey flip. Double stomp onto the stomach and chest of Andrade. Catches his leg and dragon screws him down. Throws him in the corner. Right, got Andrade center of the ring, going for a pin. Not going to do it yet. Andrade fights him off, uppercut. Comes right into the corner. Big drop kick into the butt in the lower back. Forearms and chops. Ooh, Rey answering back. This one's getting a little chippy. If Dragon Screw had a number after it, it would be a poor title. Dragon Screw 16. Rey. Oh, Rey was going. Oh, jeez. I thought Rey was going to go for a Code Red instead. Andrade covers the entire length of the ring on that slingshot into a 619. Top rope Rey. Frog splash onto Andrade. Into the cover. Hooks the leg. Rey Mysterio gets his first live Marcho Madness victory at the expense of Andrade. It was quick, but it was effective. It was a Keystone Cop-esque stumble. Like I said, he covered the entire length of the ring. Ray dials up the 619 and immediately launches in the frog splash. Mysterio looking good. Eliminates Andrade, and it'll be Rey Mysterio versus Shinsuke Nakamura on March 30th. For Marcho Madness, we have completed our play-in matchups. Ray happy to get that first win under his belt. Maybe looking to shock the world and get some more. Oof. 16 matches up in under 2 hours. I like the sound of that. If you extrapolate that, times that by 4. That's 64 matches. Wait, yep, 64. Before the 8 hours. I'll take an 8-hour Marcho Madness. He's a pre-order bonus. He may go really far this year. Very good observation. Pre-order bonuses do have a little oomph behind them. And we haven't had a lot of those because normally they're legends or other characters. So, to recap, Jay Briscoe, Sami Callihan, Xavier Woods, Tonga Loa, Jay Uso, Sheamus, Evil, Dean Ambrose, Rowe, Dolph Ziggler, Pentagon Jr., Randy Orton, Nick Jackson, Scott Dawson, Hiroki Goto, and Rey Mysterio have all advanced into their actual first round matchups for March of Madness, eliminating Mark Briscoe, Rich Swann, Big E, Tama Tonga, Jimmy Uso, Cesaro, Sonata, Kevin Owens. Would that be a super 4-hour a sub 4-hour? No, it would not. It would be 8 hours still because that's only 16 matches. We have 63 to do. So, no, ain't good thought, but no. Kevin Owens, Hanson, Baron Corbin, Phoenix, Jeff Hardy, Matt Jackson, Dash Wilder, Matt Riddle, and Andrade, all eliminated. March 30th, somewhere between 10 and 12 Eastern is when March of Madness will start. We'll probably just do it 11 at this point. I had to do the math in my head too, so you're a good pirate. The bracket will be available for you sometime this week. I might even get it up tonight. It'll be attached to all the Podswoggle podcasts. It'll be on our Kid Audio. It'll be on our Twitter. Make sure you fill out your brackets. We're going to announce the prizes on this week's Podswoggle podcast. So wherever you get your podcasts, make sure you're subscribed to Podswoggle. While you're there, rate and review us. It helps us out very, very much. Follow Podswoggle on all social media, at Podswoggle on Twitter. Of course, Instagram for those sweet promo pictures that Rich puts up highlighting the first round matchups, which I'm going to do here in just a second. Of course, subscribe to YouTube if you want to go back and watch, or if you're already watching this. Also, our P1 Pinnacle, our Fire Pro Wrestling streams are there. They're actually about to conclude with a big stream the Wednesday after WrestleMania. I think I'm going to go all in on Walter this year. Whoo, Pirate, you have no idea. The Wednesday after WrestleMania, the P1 Pinnacle Finals will be airing live on Twitch. Of course, also be available for on YouTube later on. Twitch.tv/Podswoggle. So you have all our stream information, the Podswoggle title tournament, the Podswoggle Pit, the 16-man tournament of the guys who did make it in March of Madness to get nominated by the members of Podswoggle, is going to be coming at you here in just a couple of weeks. It's actually going to be, if I'm not mistaken, on March 20th at 8:30 Eastern. We're going to pick the participants for that on this week's podcast. Send us an email, podswoggle@gmail.com. If you're going to be in WrestleMania, if you're going to be at WrestleMania weekend, hit us up. Let us know what your plans are. We'd love to see you and hang out. Patreon.com/ArcadeAudio. You can monetarily support the podcast and hang out in our Discord, get all kinds of bonus content and sweet merch from doing so there. And yeah, be on the lookout for the bracket. Like I said, it's coming any day. These are the matches you're going to have to choose from. Brock Lesnar versus Sami Callihan. Dean Ambrose versus Ortiz. Bobby Lashley versus Kofi Kingston. Shinsuke Nakamura versus Rey Mysterio. Kazuchika Okada versus Scott Dawson. Ricochet versus Juice Robinson. Aleister Black versus Austin Aries. Jay White versus Zack Sabre Jr., your current reigning and defending two-time Marcho Madness champion. Tommaso Ciampa versus R-Truth. Adam Cole versus Roderick Strong. Tatsuya Naito versus Tonga Loa. Samoa Joe versus Sheamus. Jay Lethal versus Rusev. Jeff Cobb versus Randy Orton. Johnny Impact versus Nick Jackson. Seth Rollins versus Evil. AJ Styles versus Hiroki Goto. Brian Cage versus Santana. Chris Jericho versus Taji Ishimori, Drew McIntyre versus Dolph Ziggler, Roman Reigns versus Rowe, Johnny Gargano versus Buddy Murphy, Finn Balor versus the Velveteen Dream, Daniel Bryan versus Kota Ibushi, Kenny Omega versus Elias, The Miz versus Kyle O'Reilly, Cody versus Xavier Woods, Braun Strowman versus Jey Uso, Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Jay Briscoe, Walter versus Cedric Alexander, Will Ospreay versus Pentagon Jr., and Pete Dunne versus Mustafa Ali. We will see you on March 30th for Marcho Madness. Best of luck of you all in your brackets. I am your host, Mullet. We are swagging off until Marcho Madness 2019.